Welcome back to the Masters of Recon podcast, your top automotive refinishing podcast with your hosts, Cory Kleinfeldt
and Ryan Brewer. Enjoy the show, everyone.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Masters of Recon podcast. Today we have two special guests for you, and we're super excited about it. So we got our co-host, Ryan Brewer, here, and we have Adam and DJ from the Lafayette, Louisiana area, and they are both part of the Sterling Automotive Group, here to talk about their history in the dealership world, talk about reconditioning as a whole, and then hopefully touch a little bit on RestorFX, why they like it, maybe even why they don't like it a little bit, and we'll go from there. So welcome to the show, Adam and DJ. What's going on, guys?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm great, man. Thanks for joining us after hours to talk a little bit of more car stuff. So, Adam, why don't you start, man, and tell us a little bit about yourself, how you started, and we'll go from there.
For sure, man. My name is Adam McDonald. I work for Sterling Automotive Group. I've been doing it since 2014. Got in that from retail sales, and a buddy of mine called me to come over and working for a dealership, sell some cars. Really never thought it was going to be a career until then. It kind of took off and never looked back since. But sold cars from 2014 to 2017. 2017 started with Sterling Automotive Group and started off as a used car manager at one of our stores and been around to a few different places, but currently as a used car manager for our Sterling Kia location.
Nice. Yeah, they always say that once you get into the car business that you never leave.
Oh man, yeah, I could never do anything different. I never would have thought that, but it's
I try to get both of them to leave all the time, but
yeah,
it's just not working. And then I hate them to leave. Yeah, I hate them to leave because they're both of my great clients, and I'm like, who's going to replace you? And then I'm screwed, right? So
yeah, and you're like, leave, stay.
Right.
Well, that's awesome, man. Hopefully you never leave. The car industry is a pretty awesome industry. So,
I love
what's up?
It's the only way to do it.
Yeah. What's up, DJ?
What's going on, Cory, man?
Tell us about yourself.
So a little bit about me, man. I got into the car business 2018. Started out in sales. Backtrack. Name's DJ Schelling, sales manager for Sterling Hyundai here in the Lafayette area, specifically overseeing our used cars for our Hyundai location and our Genesis location. Got into sales 2018. Took a leap of faith. Never looked at sales as a career. And man, life-changing. Definitely having fun. Definitely love giving Ryan a hard time, but yeah, man. Sales is the way to go. Definitely enjoying it.
That's awesome, dude. And thanks for joining us. I mean, it's already you can tell the relationship that you guys have already, just because, in your guys' time, we're at 7:30 at night. You guys coming to hang out with Ryan after hours. You guys obviously put in a full day selling cars. Not an easy job to come after hours. So that's awesome. Ryan, how do you find managers like these, man? Teach us.
Dude, it's so crazy. I think when we talk about finding common ground with people, so a little background on DJ. I'm from Chalmette, for all the guys that don't know, right? DJ's from right across the river from me, from was it Westwego, right? Or West Bank? West Bank, the best bank, right? So if anybody knows any type of relationship we have with those guys, it was never the greatest. Like, we're from Chalmette, one side of the river, they're from the other. So we kind of hit that common ground, and DJ, he will put me in my place. There's no doubt about it. If I'm screwing up, if I'm not showing up, he puts me in my place, and I do appreciate it.
A little bit of accountability.
Yeah, for sure. And it makes me a better person. So Adam, we became like really good friends through golf. Like, dude's probably one of the best golfers I've ever met, and I'm the worst. So we're both members here at a country club, and we play a ton of golf. He fishes, like, he does everything the same thing we do. So it's just been a good adventure finding these guys, because these are the two closest managers I have out of all the dealerships that we service. So it's just been a blessing to find these guys.
And if I can make an assumption, I don't know for sure because we didn't talk too much about it, but two best managers you have, these two guys send you the most work for RestorFX and debt repair out of all the other dealers, right?
Correct.
Yeah, not a coincidence. Not a coincidence.
Some weeks, but we have that relationship where it's not about friendship when it comes to business. Adam's the same way, and so is DJ. He's not just going to give me stuff because we're friends. He's giving me stuff because he needs it done, and he knows that I'm going to take care of it. And the same thing goes for Adam. If we go in with a list of 5 cars for RestorFX, we're not going to get all 5. You know, they're going to choose the ones that are good candidates, and we're going to tackle them from there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so happy to hear it. So I wanted to kind of touch a little bit on just hearing. I mean, we have all different types of technicians listening to the Master Recon podcast, not just RestorFX. We have paintless dent repair, touch-up guys, detailers, etc. So Adam and DJ, feel free, whichever one of you guys want to start. Why is it important that dealerships, it may be an obvious answer, but maybe not. Why do we recondition cars? Like why do I have an entire business, and Ryan does, and all these other people have businesses reconditioning vehicles?
For me, I think it's just it's a testament to who you are as a leader and a sales manager. For me, I'm very particular. I don't want to sell anything that I wouldn't buy myself. You know what I mean? I can't sit there and, ask for all the money or, try to, sell it the right way if it's not done the right way. With Ryan, with RestorFX, I mean, he comes in, him and his crew, they're professional, they're timely, they're diligent. I know for sure that I can count on them to get the vehicles retail ready. Also, just it's a better sell. You're talking to these customers and you're presenting this vehicle, and just with consumers, right? They want to have everything perfect, whether it's a pre-owned vehicle or not. They expect it to be like new to them because it is a new vehicle to them. So, in my assumption, the best way to do that is the recon side of it, whether it's interior, exterior, dents, whatever recon or PDR that we look for. That's the thing that's going to help sell that car. So for me, it's all about, the integrity of who you are as a person. And if you wouldn't buy that, then you shouldn't be selling it that way.
DJ, if you had to answer this question, what would be the number one recon that you would do on a vehicle? And don't say RestorFX or dents just because we all want to know the answer. Is it interior? Is it rims? Is it restored, dents, glass?
So for me, obviously you look at the exterior and you want to make sure it's good enough perception wise, right? My biggest thing, and the things that I tell my detailers, is the customer that walks in the lot is not looking at the vehicle for the exterior. They want to make sure they have a clean, nice interior. That's the toughest thing to really overcome on a pre-owned car. Seats, whether it's cloth or leather, headliners, cup holders, you name it. Think those things are the most tedious things to really clean. So for me, I think what really separates everything would be a solid interior of a vehicle.
I mean, I need to get in the interior business then. I didn't know that.
That's literally
crazy,
that's the worst part though for anybody detail, right? I mean,
you're in it the most, right?
And I say that because I know a lot of people that, drive a vehicle and they base it on the color, but I also know a lot of people that go blind over a good car deal, right? In my mind, I know that I have, and I'm not trying to hit up anything, it's already big enough, but I know that I have Ryan to lean on if I need to get a vehicle showroom ready, right? So I always keep that in my back pocket, but I know for sure if a customer is not in love with the interior of a car, doesn't smell good, doesn't, look good, doesn't, there's a lot of wear, then that's going to be a hard sell to really, get this person to buy the vehicle.
Good
What
answer.
about you, Adam? What you got?
first off, I mean, we use Ryan, we use RestorFX, we use all of his services because regardless of friendship, like we can trust that he's going to do the job. He's going to do it right. He's going to be fair with us. Then, the pricing is going to be fair. The product's going to be great. He always, it's comical because you'll bring a car that is, not that bad. And he says, oh no, he undersells the work. He's really, really good at it. So it's you can trust him with stuff that, typically you don't think can be done. And the dude's going to bring it back perfect every time. So, and we send business to him because he's going to take care of it. He's going to make it right. It's going to look, as DJ said, showroom ready because he does that quality of work, which is, hard to come by. I mean, I've dealt with, gosh, I don't know how many different vendors that come by. I've been doing it for 8 years. I've seen a ton of people, everybody's coming out trying to learn how to do this or that. And most of them, they can't do it. And he's straight up with it. It's going to be right. It's going to be perfect, or he's going to make it right. So the quality of work that he does helps us sell the cars. I mean, we sell primarily used cars right now because the new car market is so tough to get. So we're selling used cars, and we're selling these cars literally as fast as we can trade for them. So we're trading for cars, we're selling them the next day. So when we have a guy like Ryan and a company like his, we have a car that's not clean, that's not ready, all these things wrong with it cosmetically, but we're able to show it that day and say, look, Mr. Customer, be blind, look over that because my guy is going to make it perfect. And being able to have someone that can do that for you is a game changer because we don't have to be scared to say, yeah, we can sell you the car, but maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. It's like, no, I mean, he can fix the damages, he can fix the dents, he can make you plastic back new again, he can take the car that has, the cobweb looking scratch marks from the car wash or the scratch here or there or whatever it is, and it's going to look showroom ready, and he's going to have it out for you in a couple of days. I mean, it's being able to sell a car that is not perfect when you sell it and know that it's going to be perfect when you deliver it it's a game changer for us.
Especially in like this too, with the market being so unpredictable up and down, and the vast trades that people think are worth all the money. I mean, we're having to buy these cars like Adam attested to because we don't have any new vehicles. So we're giving more for these trade-ins. We're being aggressive, trying to get these cars not only to resell them, but also to help our guy out, giving him an opportunity to show his craftsmanship and his work to really restore this vehicle to retail ready.
So Adam, you said something. Are you doing most cars? Are you selling them and then Ryan's doing his thing, or the other way around? Or is it just the times that we're in right now?
It's mainly the times we're in because you don't have the luxury to have
a full lot.
Yeah, I mean, typically you have a time frame. You get a car in, you have some time to work, and it's not like no one's beating your door down to get it right then. But where we are currently is we're literally selling these vehicles as soon as we can trade for them. We have people waiting for these cars. So if he's coming, we're selling them as soon as we trade them in. Obviously we inspect them, we send it to our used car department for all the mechanical stuff. We do all of our due diligence with it.
Yes, smog safety, whatever.
Yeah, as far as the cosmetic side goes, he comes and knocks these things out. He's on our lot at least twice a week. His guys from RestorFX are coming multiple times a week, picking up cars, bringing back cars, bringing me stuff to do. It's just a constant back and forth the entire time with that. So we wouldn't be able to operate or sell the quality of cars as fast if we didn't have a vendor that could take care of us like that. So that's a huge thing for us to be able to get the cars ready.
All right. So me being a vendor, thinking about walking into used car dealerships, most of my dealerships aren't doing it that way. They get a car in, we fix it, and then they sell it. But what could I say, or how could I approach them for saying like, maybe we could do it afterwards? Are those customers like mentioning to you like, oh, I kind of want to get, or are you guys changing to them? How is that working? I get that. The
So
damages, are they like, oh, I'll buy the car, but you got to make all the spider webs go away?
100%. So what we do with that is, we look at the car. We're not going to oversell, overpromise what we can deliver on, but
Yeah, sure.
The car we're going to do what we can to make the customer happy with the car. And obviously, if the car is not perfect and it's not what we said it was going to be or what they could expect, then we don't feel that they're obligated to buy the car. We're going to make it right for them. We have 13 rooftops in our dealership. We started with one rooftop. We're not a large, like, corporate owned company. We're a one guy owned company. I mean, our owner is a single person, not a corporation. So I mean, if we don't take care of our customers and we don't deliver the products that we say we're going to deliver, we wouldn't be able to have the business and have the amount of stores that we have. So, having our vendors, like Ryan, be able to back us up on this keeps us from having to not be able to deliver the product that we're saying we're going to deliver. So he keeps us out of a bind. We'll call us to and say, hey, bro, we got a car sold. The whole back end is like basically totaled, but I told him you could fix it. So I hope you can do it. That's what we're dealing with. And the dude, I mean, it's ridiculous what he comes up with and what he can do. And it's truly great, but his ability on the Recon side, but the RestorFX stuff as well, that product in particular makes these cars that paint wise are not the best looking vehicles, especially like older vehicles that have scratches or the clear coat's coming off or the paint's faded due to just sun exposure and things like that. Him putting this stuff on the car is like borderline between whether you can sell it or not sell it, or between, like DJ said, asking for all the money. If I have a car that's all faded and crappy and I can sell it for whatever price in that condition, he can come and restore the car. The car looks $2,000 better on a, not even close to that price point. So we take a car that we would not be able to get that much money for, and we can get the car because, I mean, it looks like it came off the showroom. I mean, it's a huge difference in what the car looks like pre and post, application.
I kind of piggyback on, what Adam's saying, and to kind of answer your question a little bit more in detail. I think it just starts with having a conversation, with your customer and overcoming those objections. Not like Adam said, not over promising, but delivering it with confidence that, hey, look, I have a guy that I trust that can make this car look 10 times better. We even, use him for some of our pieces that I'm sending to wholesale. I'd rather spend that money, on a vehicle to get it restored and get that paint and condition looking, that much better. That way, when it goes to auction, it's really bringing more of the value of what the car deserves to make. So, using him for his services and what you guys offer is definitely a game changer to not only our market, for our customers, and for our organization.
For sure. And, Cory, talking about what you're saying, going to approaching these dealers is, I mean, the way Ryan got in the door with me specifically, I know he had done some of the stuff, but, with me is you have to show them what you can do. Talk is talk, but you have to be able to show them a product that you can take from A to B and show them what services you can offer. And when they see that, they're going to see the value in what you guys are offering. Ryan did that with the dents first, and then with the RestorFX, he did cars for us that, like, hey, look, this is the car, this is what it looks like now, this is what the vehicle's worth. Let me show you what this is going to do and what I can do for you. And when you see that, you can't deny that the product is what it is, and it's worth the money. So it's more so just kind of getting your foot in the door however you can to show off what the skills and the product is, what you have to offer, and they can't deny it. And if it's going to make someone more money or allow you to sell a vehicle, they're not going to turn you away. It's just a matter of getting your foot in the door with that.
Yeah, and when I talked to Ryan about opening up my RestorFX center, he was like, don't spend all the time trying to sell them and talk to them and do all this. He's like, just show them, like you guys said. Whether it's dents, touch-up. I know touch-up guys that'll draw a line down the middle of the hood, do one side of the hood and not the other. Dent guys can show before and afters. RestorFX, see that car right there? Take a look at it. I'm going to bring it back in tomorrow or the next day. Let's take a look at it then. Like, let's show the people, because, again, talk is talk. I'm sure you guys have people all day, every day coming in saying, here's what I can do. And you're like, show me.
Right,
And that leads into a question like, what's the trait that you want most of a vendor? Is it that they do good work, or they show up on time? What's the trait that you guys look for in vendor? Like when you pick a vendor to be your guy or gal?
I think it's a multiple of things. I mean, you look for accountability. You look for if this person's trustworthy. You look for if they have professionalism. Those traits go hand in hand with a good partnership or relationship. I need to be able to know that I can hand you these keys and the work's going to be done in a timely manner. You're not going to go, mess up or wreck the vehicle or do anything that'll tarnish, both of our jobs. But all in all, I think, looking for a vendor's communication. Hey, look, and it's both ways. Hey, DJ, it's been several times that Ryan told me, I don't think I can do anything with this vehicle, but I'm going to try, whether it's the restore side or the dent side, whatever it might be, any, recon. If you guys aren't honest and transparent, then it's going to be at a fault from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. Like the honesty, the transparency for sure is something, but with all the vendors that we have come through, I think just actually being there, showing up and doing the work. It's crazy how many people will come up and like, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then they show up and they're there that week. And then maybe the next week. And then after a little while, you're literally calling them to try to get them, hey, I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. Are you ever going to come by? So as much as we move inventory, as many cars as we roll through on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, you have to be there. I don't need a guy that's going to come once a month. I don't need a guy that's going to come every 2 weeks. You have to be at that dealership at least once a week to be able to do the workload that I have. I mean, once a week, I can't ask more than that really, but I'm saying like I have enough work in just a week with cars coming in and out, but like if you're not there every week, then you're hurting me. Right. So I don't need to have to call you and see, are you coming? When are you coming? And it's crazy how many vendors that we have come in and out that like you literally have to hunt them down, regardless of the quality of work. You can't find them to do the work if you wanted to. So with Ryan, with his team, I mean, they're there multiple times a week. I mean, you almost have to run some of the guys out. Like, look, okay, I can't do any more work this week, so like I'm good. But I mean, they're there all the time, which is a good problem. They're always trying to help. They're always trying to work. They're taking as much as possible on a workload, and not only are they doing that, they're delivering the product back in a timely manner. The quality of workmanship is fantastic. They're doing everything right, and they're also showing up. So the biggest thing is, man, just show up when you're supposed to show up. Don't have me chasing you around trying to see if you can do the work, and do a good quality job. Be honest and be fair with the pricing. And luckily for us, for me, for DJ, and the rest of our guys, I mean, we have someone like Ryan that's able to do that, and we don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to be good or it's going to be on time or if the price is right. I mean, he's going to do all that. You don't even have to question. You just, you get the invoice and you sign him. The dude did exactly what he said he's going to do, which is hard.
Adam, you must be paying Ryan on the side to come to your lot.
No, bro, I mean, the dude does a great job. And I'm telling you, I'm as cheap as they come. Everyone hates me. I'm telling you, I am so cheap. If I don't see the value, if I don't see the value in it, I am not spending a dime. My service department can't stand me, unfortunately, because I nickel and dime them to death. Ryan's guys will come by RestorFX. They'll have so many cars on the list, it's comical, and I turn all of them down. Basically, I pick the ones I know are going to make sense, that are going to help me, and I'm still getting them 3 or 4 cars a week because that's how many I need that really need the product, and I'm turning all the rest of them down. So I promise you, I'm not spending money on anything that doesn't need to spend money on because I'm selfish. I'm trying to keep it all for myself. I'm not spending money on vendors. I spend money, no questions asked, with anything he does because it brings that much value times 3 back to the car when I get ready to sell it. No questions.
So
Dang,
I have a
Ryan.
quick I know it's right. I have a quick question. What I'm sure a lot of guys who own RestorFX centers and maybe some that are looking to get into getting in the centers. What was both of you guys, DJ and Adam, what was y'all's first experience or thought, when that first demo was brought back to the dealership?
I'll go with that. I mean, I can't remember the exact model of the car, but I can remember what it looked like. I sent the worst car I could possibly find to him for the demo. I believe it was a minivan of some sort. But anyways, it had scratches on every single side of it, front to back. It was terrible. And I didn't know what to expect with it, but when it came back, just the clear coat alone on the entire vehicle, the application, everything. I mean, you have to get right on the car to be able to see any kind of imperfection on it. I mean, it was like it was a brand new car. And we're sending vehicles that are extremely rough. This is not like a very new or low mileage car that's just got like a little bit here and there. Like those cars are supposed to be clean. My detail department can figure that out. I don't need that.
Right.
I need the cars that are terrible, and he makes them look like they're brand new again. And that particular application, I mean, this thing was scratched. The whole vehicle was terrible. And it came back thousands of dollars worth of value,
Better.
more in the car, better in the car. So the car is not going to be perfect, but I don't, and the customer in this particular situation, this price point, used vehicle, whatever, they're not expecting it to be perfect, but I couldn't sell in the condition it was. I mean, the condition it was in, I can't sell it all. And then with this application, I can ask all the money for it. It looks as, brand new as possible for the situation without having to spend thousands of dollars in repairs. Because what is your alternative? On scratches and repainting, you're going to repaint. You can't repaint the whole car. That's not a possibility. I mean, that doesn't make sense. You're changing panels out on vehicles. I mean, there's no way that I can send this to our body shop and have them do the work for anywhere near what the price is going to be, let alone the time frame. Ryan picks the car up today. He does the work. He's back to my lot tomorrow. 24 hours later, I have that car. He hadn't had a car ever sit more than 24 hours off my lot. It's back in my lot. 24 hours. I mean, every car I send them. So I send it to my body shop. It's there for 3 months. I mean, that's the reality of it. I mean, so it doesn't matter what they can do. They're going to cost me more money, and they're going to keep it for the entire life of ownership that I have the car. As soon as I get it back, I have to wholesale it because it's been on my lot for so long that I have no choice but to get rid of it because we have to turn it on our vehicle, so I can't do that. So it's a game changer in what he can do in those product lines. I mean, it really is. It really is a game changer for us on the pre-owned side to be able to use that particular application on these cars that need help.
And just to piggyback off of, Adam, and to answer your question, I mean, so when it was first presented to me, I'm like, this is like, ain't no way you're going to take this vehicle from this current condition and make it like me. So it was a 2015 Ford F-150, about 70,000 miles. And I tell you, this thing had swirls from top of the car, top of the truck, all door panels and everything. It was almost deemed to be wholesale just because of the condition it was in. Him and his guys, they took it 24 hours, like Adam said. It really changes the dynamic. It changes the perception of what the vehicle looks like. You know what I mean? So you at that point as the manager or the customer, you're looking at this thing and it's like, damn. Now I have the opportunity to retail this vehicle. It's back on the lot. I can, the Recon's done. I can ask the money for it. It's not, something that's written off or forgotten about, or you're not having to discount the vehicle just in order to sell the car. It's product. It's quality. It's something that I don't mind spending the money on to, solidify sale, make a customer happy, et cetera, because like Adam said, I'm not doing this on a vehicle that's like new. You know what I mean? I'm doing this on the rugged stuff, the vehicles that need the attention, that needs the recon, that, that's been put through the ringer, had a rough first owner or whatnot. And these guys do a hell of a job.
So what would you have done before RestorFX with that bad looking of a vehicle?
I think Adam kind of touched on it. We try to get into our body shop. We have to make an appointment to get a buff job or, see if that'll fix it. Far as like a true paint and correction stuff like that, we wasn't doing anything like that, beforehand.
Yeah.
We wasn't, investing that type
Too
of
expensive.
money. Exactly. If we do our recon and we look at it, we get a quote and it's $4 or $5 grand to do something like that. I mean, that thing's going straight to auction.
Yeah, totally.
For sure. And, Ryan can
100%.
attest to this. This is I'm sure a bad moment in his tenure with the RestorFX, but I had a car sent him right out of the gate. This is almost as a joke to see what he could do with it. But one of my other sales managers traded for a Buick Verano, and dude, this car was black. It was supposed to be black. It didn't have a lick of paint left on the car, so the whole roof, the trunk, and the front hood was faded to like it was almost white. So a black car, but the car's white. It has no paint left. It's completely faded. And he trades for this car, but it has like 60,000 miles on it. I'm like, this car is super nice. It doesn't have any paint on it. It's terrible. So he's like, okay, he sent it to me, sent it to auction, whatever. So I got him like, man, I wonder if he could, we've done a couple cars with him. I was like, maybe he can fix this car. So I sent it to him. And this was the one time I can tell you that maybe he didn't do it in 24 hours because he didn't have the chance to. I mean, he kept this car for like a day. I'm like, okay. Then the next day, I call him like, hey, bro, you gonna bring my car back? He's like, well, I mean, we're still putting some. So I don't know how many coats he put on this car, but the car was like probably 6 inches taller when he got back. But anyways, he kept it for a couple of extra days, and he put a few different applications of Restore on it. But literally, this car, I brought it back up to the guy who traded it in, the sales manager who took it on trade. I said, hey, I got this car for you to look at. What do you think? He came and looked at it. It's like, yeah, it's a pretty nice car. What is it? And I said, well, you don't remember this car? You traded for it about 3 days ago. No, I've never seen this car before. 3 days later, he didn't even recognize the car that he traded for because it looked brand new. So the car was completely not recognizable. So we took a car that was 100% wholesale. We gave probably half the value of the car. So if the car is worth X, we gave half of that to the customer because the car has got no paint on it. It's terrible. Can't do nothing with it. We spend no money, very little at all, with the Restore product, and we retail the car a couple of days later to someone at literally half the value of what they would have paid for that same car in good condition, and it looks brand new. Everybody's happy. We make some money. The customer is beside themselves because they got a car at half price, basically, because we were in it well. He allowed us to sell the car that we would have never been able to sell in the first place, and the car looks brand new. It was quite a headache for him, but it worked out in our favor. I try to take it easy. I'm not sending too many of those, but he did a fantastic job with the car.
Was that you were telling me you did 8 coats on a car one time, Ryan? Was that one?
That was one of them. I have to find the limit on everything, right? It's like whether it's paintless dent repair or any other service that we've ever offered, I'm always trying to find the limit, and I can't turn these guys down, man. They've been so good to me. I'm like, look, if I'm not that guy who's gonna say I'm at least gonna try it and see what we can do with it, you need to be using somebody else. You know what I mean? That's just not right. So when it came down to a car like that, and I've had multiple for other dealerships, and honestly, Adam kind of sugarcoated that a little bit because the car was so bad that a couple days later, and this is, I mean, we're going to be bluntly honest with the RestorFX, right? It is a phenomenal product, but it has its limits. And I've met those limits on that Buick Verano or whatever car that was. And a couple days later, it started to absorb, right? Because there's no clear coat left on it. So I looked at the car and I was like, Adam, dude, I'm picking the car back up and we're going to do another installation on it. And we did a I don't know if it was like the 10th installation of RestorFX on it. And then it cleared everything up to where the customer was happy. And he hasn't got a phone call ever since. So I guess no phone call is a good phone call. And it was wild what that car looked like. Even the lady who takes the pictures for the car and puts them on the website. She didn't even recognize the car at all.
Jeez.
So it was cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So my dad started doing paintless dent repair in 1991. He used to tell me stories about how he'd walk into a dealership and be like, "Oh, I can do this thing where I can get behind the panel, push the dent out or whatever." And they're like, that doesn't seem possible. We just send all of our stuff to the dealership or to the body shop. Either they didn't do anything or they sent it to the body shop. There was no in between there. And then with paintless dent repair coming around, they were like, wow, there's actually a great option where you can fix smaller stuff now much bigger, quickly. And so I know we're all sounding like a bunch of RestorFX fanboys over here, but that's because it's true. We're coming in with a product where it's like, I can't keep the car, or I paint the entire thing, or paint correct it, which is either way, it's thousands of dollars. But RestorFX has figured out how to fill that kind of niche in between there, where we can do a fantastic job quickly, inexpensively. It's perfect for wholesale. So I just want to point. I just made that connection in my head, and I'm like, that's why it's so exciting for me personally, being a center, Ryan being a center, and then having other dealer managers come on and talk about how great it is. I think that's why, is because we're all pumped about it, because it fills this niche that's just hasn't been filled like ever.
One of the things you just said was time. In the car business, we know that time kills deals, and to be able to have a service and a guy that we can trust and know that it's going to be done in a timely manner and done correctly. Because listen, we can have Joe Blow get the vehicle, do it, and it comes back looking like worse than it did before it left, right? We know a couple of people that's like that. But to have that, like I said, that trust that, hey, look, I'm giving this guy his keys. This vehicle's going to come back 10 times better. And it creates a different excitement within the dealership too, because it's not just and I commend Ryan on this as well. It's not just a communication just from me. My service advisors has his number. My sales consultants have his number. Like, it's an open book. Hey, look, Ryan, today. Hey, Ryan, I got a brand new vehicle that needs some attention. Hey, if you can bring it to me, I'm gonna take a look at it, see what I can do for you. That's the type of guy this man is. So I definitely applaud him for his, just being an all-around worker, engagement, having that business mindset, and also, wanting to put his best foot forward to take care of, not only his business, but also his clients.
I will say, like, whenever you find a guy or a manager like these two, because I'll just reference back to today. I had a really bad experience with not me, I guess my manager had a really bad experience with some managers at a dealership where we walked in, they opened up, they own a couple other dealerships. I guess we'll call these guys the B lot. We were talking about that on the last episode. So I said, man, Mike's hitting the B lots up. Let's go try to get on some of those. So we went to a B lot. For us, I'm going to say it's Don Wholesale out here in Lafayette, and they opened up a new store in Carencro. And I sent the managers out. They went over there. As soon as they walked in, the guys were like, oh, we got 5 other guys that are doing the same thing y'all are doing, and wouldn't even listen to a single thing my guys had to say on what RestorFX was, and didn't give us any type of opportunity to prove them wrong. So, like, going back to when you find managers like Adam and DJ, put the effort in to making sure these guys are happy. Not even just them. Like you said, the service advisors, the salespeople. We talked about that with Mike last week as well. Making sure that everybody in the dealership knows who you are and that you're there to take care of them. The more you do that, you're just going to keep, even if DJ moves on to another lot, because it's happened. I mean, he came from Ford and now he's at Hyundai. Same thing with Adam. They're moving around. It happens. But the fact that everybody knows who we are at those specific dealerships, it really helped out when those changes do happen.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I totally agree with you. I have just a general question that I'm actually reading a book or listening to a book currently that they're talking a lot about this, and so I was just curious to ask a couple managers about it, just as Recon in general. And you guys touched a lot of the great things that Ryan does, or great things that you want other vendors to do: professionalism, show up on time, do a good job, whatever. I don't know if you guys ever thought about this. I might put you on the spot, but as vendors as a whole, what would you like to see, or is there anything that you'd like to see change or that you don't like about what vendors do, right? Like maybe that guy today had already had 8 people come in and try to pitch him. And he's like, I already got people. I'm like, you don't, because no one else does this, but okay. So like just out of curiosity for all the people across all of North America and everywhere listening, like what would you like to see change in just the vendor industry? If you have an answer for that.
I'm not sure about change, but I mean, if you're trying to get into a new spot, it's just a matter of creating a relationship. I mean, everything we do on a daily basis is just a relationship. It's a relationship business between us and our customers, us and our vendors, whatever it looks like. It's just a relationship. So, maybe try to not worry about selling something or selling a product so much. I mean, obviously create the relationship, keep coming by, keep trying, and get your foot in the door. When you get your foot in the door, show what you can do and back it up and build that relationship. But, with Ryan, myself, it's strictly a relationship. He got in, a relationship is what started it, but his quality work is what's kept it. If he can't do the work, I'm going to move on to somebody else. But it's more so about the relationship. You don't have to, I have a specific person that comes by that has a product that I would never use ever. But the only thing that I do respect about him is that he's persistent. He comes by all the time. He's always coming by. He comes by once a month, probably, even though I've told him multiple times I have no use. He comes by. And if there's ever a time where I need this particular product, which is just not something we use, I'm going to give that guy a chance. I just don't use his product. It has nothing to do with him. It's just the product. But, being able to continue to come by, to check in, to have that relationship, don't make it all about, what are you trying to sell me thing. Just have a relationship, come talk, bull crap a little bit and move on with your day. But, make the effort to come by, to check on you, to check in, to treat me right once you earn my business, and to continue to have that relationship. The business side is just a plus. The relationship is really what it's all about with all of our vendors, all of our people. I mean, without having the relationships that we do, we couldn't operate. So just having a good close friend group there, it makes it, a lot easier on everything. And, you were talking about earlier about the body shop stuff and the PDR work and stuff. And it's really comical. Like with our particular body shop, we have a body shop that does, all the body work for 13 dealerships. And, Ryan goes to every dealership, like maybe one day a week, essentially to all of our stops or whatever. One of his stops every week is to our body shop. He is our body shop PDR guy. So our body shop is using Ryan to do the PDR work for all the body shop stuff, which is just a testament to what he's doing, that they use him over their own guys to do a lot of the work that happens, through our body shop, which shows how much he really, contributes on the PDR work for the dents. It's crazy.
I think for me, I mean, like Adam said, being resilient. I'm not asking you to walk in with a box of donuts every time, but I think, I think having that conversation, or, hey, listen, I know you already have a guy for this, but let me give you a demonstration of what I can do, and let me be the judge if I want to venture off with you or not, or, it may be something that we can utilize. But at the end of the day, Adam said it best: building a relationship, building that foundation, building that trust level. And Cory, you as well. You just, mentioned something that is definitely happening every day for me, being in used cars. I mean, I have vendors every day that, coming in, hey, look, here's my card. I'm doing paint work, or I'm doing PDR, I'm doing recons, or whatever it might be, so I can see that frustration level of that manager on that day. Hey, listen, no, man, I already got somebody. No, well, you don't have nobody to do this, but I have someone, because you don't want to have to deal with it, right? So I think, just showcasing some work, or, just having a game plan would definitely have some kind of separation versus someone just coming in and handing you a card. And like I said, it starts with a conversation. Don't try to sell me on, what you can do. I'd rather us build a relationship first. Hey, like, man, my name is DJ, I've been in a business for X amount of years, et cetera, versus just, hey, look, do you have a guy that does, touch up work? It's a big difference.
So because this podcast isn't just about RestorFX, and it's about all, any type of recon that you can do, whether it's going to be dealership or retail, listen to what these guys are saying, because you got to stay on top of your toes, dude, because they got people coming right behind you. Luckily, right now with RestorFX, we don't, because there isn't any type of other product out there that can match what we do. But all you rim guys, interior guys, I mean, I'm a dent guy. We get it.
Dang guys.
I know they got dent guys coming in every other day, probably trying to get their work. But that's the one thing that keeps me on my toes. And that I have to make sure, even though these guys are my friends, if something comes along that I think that I can fix, or these guys say it all the time, like I'm talking stuff that looks like a forklift hit it, they want me to fix it. I try as much as I can, and don't ever be too good. If you're in the dealership industry, dude, and you think you're too good to go try stuff like that, move on to the next deal, because you're not going to keep that account, because some guy's going to come behind you and steal that, and you just stay on top of your toes.
Do you guys like that it's one vendor, Ryan's company, Ryan as the person offering multiple different services? If he were to get into touch up and wheels and all that stuff, and he gave you a demo and it worked, like, in theory, would you want to have one vendor doing everything for you?
I mean, you think about it. I mean, for me, I'm a simple guy. I mean, if everything aligns up, I'm not going to change from AT&T to Verizon because whatever reason, right? So if the services and the quality of work is we already got the relationship, I already trust him, So if the new services were added and it pans out to be the same trustworthy work that I'm accustomed to, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if Ryan learns how to paint and whatever else, there's no doubt that
He's
would
like,
be,
no.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen some of those paints. We've got to work a little bit on that. But if we had, for me, I have a dent guy that comes on Tuesday. I got an interior guy that comes on Wednesday. I got a paint guy that comes on Thursday. I got a rim guy that comes whenever he wants to. I got that stuff going on. That's the same car that needs rims, interior, paint, dent, all that stuff. That's 5-6 different guys touching the same car. They're not all there on the same day, so it may take a week if they're all doing their part just to get the same car done. So in theory, if you have a business where you can offer these multiple services, you build that relationship, you do the quality work. For me, unless it's just some weird situation where I can't cut this other person loose, I would love to send my car to Ryan and he brings it back 3 days later and the cigarette hole burns and the seat are done, all the interior is done, the dent's done, it's restored, the rims are done, all that stuff's done, and one guy touched it and that's it, and it's back to me. That cuts my time down in half. So if you can offer those services, that's a no-brainer. If you can get in the store, you can get the relationship, and you have someone let you do it, it's saving me time, it's saving me money, not having 30 different people touch it.
Right. So if we can form like a true recon center, like Adam's talking about, I mean, I have interior on Monday, I have wheels on Tuesday, I have, restore and dents on Wednesday, I have, like he just attested to. If we can send that to one spot for all of our recon and it's done in 2 to 3 days, you know how much burden that takes off of a used car?
I guess I got to get cracking then, huh?
Let's go, Ryan.
Some money on the table, cuz.
It's getting your bosses to understand that, we've kind of been through that.
That alleviates so much pressure and just unnecessary stuff that we have to continue to follow up on, right? Like Adam said, I don't want to have to constantly call to see, where you're at, or if you're coming this week, or what's going on with my vendors, So if we can just
streamline, right?
So sign me up, coach.
For sure, bro. So
no, I mean seriously though, like go ahead.
I said, I'm not going to throw this guy under the bus so much, but if any of you guys know how to fix bumpers, my bumper dude is fantastic. He comes every 7th Wednesday. So, I mean, this dude is, it never shows up. But like, I mean, talking about vendors, like if you can learn how to fix a bumper, y'all send him my way because this dude's great, but he never, ever, ever comes. So, Ryan, I need you to learn how to reattach bumpers and do clips and stuff because this guy is leaving
Every 7th Wednesday.
Every 7th Wednesday he shows up. It's unbelievable when he actually comes. But that's the thing when we deal with these vendors. This dude is the best I've ever dealt with. Fantastic. You can't get him to your dealership.
That's an issue though, like pricing, right? I mean, how's that handled? Is there set prices? Is it like negotiated on every car? Because I know the price. Obviously, we want more money. The dealerships want to pay less money. I mean, that's obviously the way that it works in the world. What's the vibe on that? Like, what's the suggestion for vendors, for other dealership, managers listening? How do we do that? Right.
So,
come on,
Too
man.
much for dent work.
I don't ask simple questions.
We have some set pricing with some of the vendors, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get that relationship established, my suggestion would be obviously be as competitive as possible to get your foot in the door, to earn the business, earn the relationship. But I have the vendors that I use, all of my vendors, obviously I do my job. I check behind them if I need to, but for the most part, I sign invoices, whatever it is, it is. If Ryan tells me it costs $500 to fix it or $100 or $1,000, that's what it costs. Same thing with my interior guy. He comes by, he gives me a list. Unless it's something that I'm going to send to wholesale or whatever, everything he gives me, done, no problem. Do every single one of them. This is your price, not a problem. Do every single one of them. My guy that paints my bumpers, does my scratches, touch up, same thing. He gives me a list. It needs to be done. Perfect. Do every single one of them. This is your price, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But they earn that respect. They earn that right. They did the job. They made the relationship. I can trust them. I know they're not taking advantage of me. I mean, we'll catch it if they do.
That's huge.
But they're not going to. But anything he brings me or any of my vendors bring me, you earn the right for me to say, yes, do it. And this is your price, no problem. I'm not going to second guess it, and I'm not going to try to find it cheaper or whatever. I mean, some of our vendors I know are more expensive than the guy next door. But the guy next door doesn't do as good of work. He's not coming by every week. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. I'm going to pay more money for the same job because I know it's done right. I know I can count on the guy anytime I need him. I know that I don't have to worry about it. It's done. It's a done deal with my vendors. So it's never a question once you earn that right, earn that respect to ask for the money.
And piggybacking on that, like the same thing, but I'm a little bit more intuitive. I'm still going in to see what my true cost is. I'm still going in to see the age of this vehicle. Hey, look, Ryan, I'm too high in it. I can't afford it right now. DJ still need work. Look, let me take care of it. Catch me on the next one.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him, Adam. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm never for a freebie. Don't worry about it. Right now, like you said, in the times that we're in, we don't have that luxury or that cap space in these vehicles like we used to. So now every little penny and every little cent counts. I mean, I fight with my service manager every day. He comes bring me these reps and these POs with 12, 13, 14, $1,500 for UCI, not including Recon, not including rims, not including interior. Like, it's just mind blowing.
So the one thing we do, and I mean, if you're a dent guy, interior is totally different. Rims are different because it's kind of almost in that same realm of what you're going to pay. Dent guys and the body shop are the ones that are going to be throwing prices out there that are going to be out the normal, for damage, right? So higher paying jobs is the ones that we do contact a manager. We send them an estimate, send them photos. And just so there is that, I never want them to be inside of a deal and then all of a sudden be hit with a $1,200 or a $600 bill and that they can't cover because now they're pedaling backwards in the deal. So if you're a dent guy and you're on a wholesale lot, I know so many wholesale guys that just turn away the big damage, whether they can fix it or they can't fix it. These guys don't understand that they can get good money on that stuff because what's your option, Adam and DJ? Body shop, right? And your body shop, your body shop's going to rape you. I already know it. Like, I know that they don't even give y'all a discount on labor rates. The prices are astronomical. And I know that we're going to save you a ton of time and we're going to save you a lot of money. So stop shooting yourself in the foot, then, guys. Just tell the guys what the price is going to be to fix the damage and make them make the decision on whether you're going to fix it or not fix it, you know?
So to answer your question, two things are happening. So whenever we do a trade appraisal on these cars, we see the damage. You know, we present a proposal. We go over figures. Either the customer's going to think that the vehicle's worth more money, and if they do think that, then we're going to lose a car deal. And you may not even get the opportunity to do the recon. So if we backpedal and back forward and try to ask for all the money, and I know I got a guy that I can use, and I'm calculating high, on the high end of what this job's going to be, then I can go out there and have that conversation and meet a common ground with the customer, with my vendor, with our staff, and try to make a deal happen.
Yeah. So like you said, that we need to let our managers know what it's going to cost. And 1, build the relationship. 2, the quality of work keeps the relationship. And then 3, for other vendors out there, you have to be able to ask for more money. The dealership would rather have you stray away from the $75, $95, whatever per car price and say, hey, I can do this, but it's going to take $400 for me to do it. They'd rather you do that than just say, no, I can't fix it. In my opinion. Is that true?
Yeah. 100%. I mean, the body shop is not doing anything for $400. Okay, put it like this. When you talk about body shop and even mechanical work, there's not a lot of people that are in Ryan's type of business as far as fixing things. When you talk about body shop, they're replacing parts. They're not fixing parts. They're replacing a whole panel. They're painting a panel. They're not fixing it.
No, they're blending a panel.
Yeah, exactly. It's the 3-stage paint, as our guy calls it. So anyway, when you send it to a bot, if you have a dent that's going to cost me $1,000 to fix the damage, which I've never had $1,000, but just say it's $1,000 to fix it because it's really bad. Well, what are your alternatives? Your alternative is sent to the body shop. Body shop's going to be maybe $1,500, $2,000 because they're going to put all new panels and they're going to repaint it. So you're spending more money.
Time.
But the big thing is what you just said, time. Okay, even if it's $1,000 versus $1,200, Ryan or any of your other PDR guys are going to have it out. Let's just say it takes them a week to do it. It's not going to take a week, but say it takes a week to do it. Your body shop, shortage on parts. By the time you order get the stuff in, get it painted. I mean, it may be there a month, 2 months, 3 months. You don't know how long it's going to be there. So you may not even have an opportunity to sell the car. So if you think that you're hurting yourself by spending the extra money, you're crazy because you're getting it back 3 times faster, the same or less money, and you can actually sell the car. So most dealerships have maybe a 60-day turn, 90-day turn. You have to get those cars out. Your GM or your owner says, I have to sell this car within X amount of days, or you got to cut it loose. You send it to your body shop, your car may be in the body shop the entirety of your owning the vehicle. So all 45, 60, 90 days, it's in the body shop. You don't get anything off that. You get it back and you wholesale it.
I think the number one reason why any vendor, and it seems to be dent guys more because our service has changed because we can fix bigger stuff than we used to, just plain and simple. We're all scared that if and even me to some extent, even though I do it, but we're scared that if we give a big price, we have a 10-year relationship and we're like, I can fix it, but it's $700. Like both doors are bad, blah, blah, blah. They're just going to be like, hell no. I'm calling the other dent guy that came in yesterday.
It's a conversation though.
Yeah.
So let's talk
at least start the conversation.
Let's talk about it. Hey, look, I got this vehicle. This is what I see. What do you think you can do? Can you do it? Can I, it's just...
That's the deal though, is because you might get, I don't care what state or city you're in. I hate to say it, but I'm kind of lucky because I'm one of the only guys in the state that I'm in that is going to fix some of the stuff that I fix for these dealerships. But dude, even if you have another dent guy that's going to come behind you and try to prove his point. Right. So a guy's going to come in behind you and want to prove that point, right? They're going to be like, oh man, I'll do that job. You were charging $1,200. I'll do it for $300, just to make sure he proves that point. He's going to get tired of it at some point in time. and then that $300 dent's going to turn back into $1,200. And even if he can fix it, so I'm like, I tell these managers, if you find a guy that's good and he is reasonable with his prices and he's reliable, just stick with him, because if you don't know what's like the grass is never greener on the other side. I don't care if you're trying to leave to go to another dealership or you're trying to find another dent guy or a vendor.
Yeah.
If it's working, it's working. We're here as vendors to help y'all sell, to make money. And if that vendor's doing that for you, why not stick with them,
Yeah.
It's a give and take relationship. You're not going to hit a home run on every deal, right?
Yeah.
But if I have the opportunity to change someone's life, sell a vehicle, bless a family, whatever it might be, then that's what I'm going to do. I can make it up on the next deal, but let's do the recon. Let's get it. It needs to be done in anyway, right? So get the job done, move the unit, and worry about it on the next one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's great info, dude. That's all. I think I'm trying to sit here and rack my brain about like all the people listening. That's what I do. All the people listening, and what questions would they want to ask? Would they want to ask you? Like candidly ask a used car manager or a GM. I think I'm out of them. Do you have any other questions, Ryan, about like what?
Guys, as vendors, what questions that you want to ask to your dealerships that you don't? Because maybe that can uncover some objections for us.
I think the main question is going to be like, where the you two guys come from?
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all have been blowing my head up the whole show, all that stuff. But
so I like crawfish. I like a good bourbon and cigars.
Yeah, take care of your managers, the ones that take care of you. Mike said it, and I don't know, ever since he said it in the last episode, it just kind of stuck with me because I've never really realized it. But he said they have this guy's in Long Island, right? They have 1,000 dealerships in the area that he's in, way more than what we have, right? And he only services 30.
Yeah.
So the 30 dealerships that he has, they're 30 of you guys, and he found these 30 guys, and it runs his entire business. He helps them sell cars. They make him money, and everything works out great, right? Yeah. So that's my main goal for everybody out here that's trying to get into whether you're a different type of vendor, you're an interior rim guy, dude. I say go to every single dealership and create those relationships, and the ones that treat you right, dude, do whatever it takes to keep that, because we have some vendors, dude. I mean, some dealership managers that I just hate doing business with, but we have to.
Yeah, we all got them.
Yeah, we don't have 1,000 dealerships right here in Lafayette. We have very few. So it's like I kind of have to take the good with the bad, but it's like, man, take those guys that take care of you and you take care of them. And it's vice versa for the managers. If your vendors are taking care of you, take care of them. If they're not, get the next guy.
That's awesome, dude. I love it. I think I learned a lot listening to this. Learned how amazing Ryan is, which is fun.
Stop blowing his head up.
But yeah, seriously, like, thanks for taking the time. Thanks for coming on. It's always fun, I think, for me to it was a little bit easier for me in this situation because like you're not my managers, and there's a little bit like I talk about pricing and I see you guys like, oh, I don't know. It's just easy for me to have these conversations, and I hope I was able to help all the other vendors guys listening, the RestorFX people. But I have one thing I need to say before I finish up. If there's anything else you guys want to say before we go about this vendor dealer relationship, now's your time.
Just reiterate what we said. It's strictly a relationship. You form the relationship, make that the priority, and the rest of it is just that part's easy. We're gonna. You can ask the money. You can ask for everything if we see the value in it and see the value in your workmanship. But it's really just a relationship. The relationship is what controls everything. Have a relationship with the vendors, with the dealerships, but vice versa. That's what controls the whole thing. I'm not doing business with somebody that I don't like, that I don't trust, regardless of the price. And the same thing when we sell cars. You're not buying a car from us if you don't trust us, if you don't like us, if you don't feel comfortable with us. Same thing. It goes the whole full circle is the same thing. So just make the relationship. That's the important part.
Yeah, you guys aren't here now because Ryan fixes dents super well. It's because of the relationship.
Exactly.
And that's
regardless of the business relationship. If we didn't have a relationship, I'm not here at 8:35. I've been here, that's just 12 hours since I got to the dealership. I wouldn't be here right now, with the exception of the relationship. I'd be at my house where I should be. You know what I mean? So he earned the right. Yeah, exactly. He earned the right to ask me and ask DJ to be here at 8:35 at night.
And just piggybacking off of that, I think it's, relationship, being vulnerable, saying what you can and can't do. Because at the end of the day, we expect, Ryan to be able to fix everything. You know what I mean? And he tells us, like, hey, look, I can or I can't fix it. You know what I mean? Being transparent, I think that's a huge thing for all vendors to form that relationship. Transparency is key. It's not just what he can do for me, but it's, man, pop in, have a cup of coffee. Let's talk about things. Let's talk about other shit besides just recon work, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that separates him from all the rest of the vendors that I've had, that Adam's had throughout our course of the years in the car business, that, drawn us to like him a little bit more, not that much more, just a little bit more than we do everyone else. But like he said, our customers not buying a vehicle from us because we look good. They're buying a vehicle from us because these guys are trying to help us out. These guys are being trustworthy. I can see they're, doing their due diligence. They have passion and pride for what they're doing, and they're wanting to help me out. You know what I mean? So that's kind of give when it comes to vendors and a dealership. What can you give to me and what can I give to you? I have the inventory for you to fix. You have the work that I need. Let's form the relationship to bridge the gap in between dealership and vendor and make something happen. So Ryan and his team does an excellent job of that. And I mean, just from talking to you, Cory, I feel like you're the same. So, congratulations to you in the California area, and Ryan, continue to do what you're doing.
Awesome, dude. These are real managers, guys, from real dealerships. It's not theory. Ryan and I aren't sitting talking like, oh, here's what we do. These are real managers. Your managers are like this. Not all of them, but some of them are. So find those guys, nurture them, take care of them. This is our second episode of the Masters Recon podcast. We're in full test mode, right? We're trying to make sure that this works, that people like this. If you guys want to learn more about RestorFX, open a RestorFX center, get more information about it, reach out to them at RestorFX.com, mention the podcast, because it will help us continue to put more of these episodes out. We will expand into doing more episodes right now, once a month. If we have a lot of people listening, a lot of interest generated, we'll continue to do it. Yeah, right?
That's it, man. Y'all just take all of it in, everything that we say in these podcasts, and utilize it, and just watch your businesses flourish. And if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me and Cory anytime. We are on the phone and Messenger all day long answering guys. So if you have any questions, just shoot us a quick text or a message, and we'll definitely work through getting you guys situated.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks again, guys. It was great to meet you, Adam and DJ. Hopefully when I come out to Louisiana, bring my wife out, we can stop by with you and see what's up.
Yeah, for sure. Come see
us. Don't be trying to steal my work, Cory.
Hey, you never know. Maybe just a little bit better.
Yeah.
What's your price point? What's your price point? I'll do it for $64.99.
Right.
Per car. Thanks, guys.
Later.
Thank you for listening to the Masters of Recon podcast. If you got any value from the show, then please subscribe and share the show to your favorite social media platform.